at that stuff then. So obviously you're a very proficient and excellent drummer. When did you start playing? What got you into drums? Like, where did that all come from?
Oh man, it was like, I was probably, honestly, I was still, it would have started in like primary school. And there was, I was at like a Jesus school and there was chapel. And there was this like girl in my class who I full crushed. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like a child. So I'm like, oh, I can't wait to like kiss her. Oh my God. Like, so anyway, she's like playing drums. She rocks up with this drum kit and starts fucking playing and she's terrible. And I'm young and I'm like, this is the best thing ever. So I don't know. Ever since then, I kind of was right into the idea of drumming. And then I was at home with like pencils, like just tapping on a desk, getting really excited about the whole thing. And then I got my first drum kit. I think I was probably like 12 years old, maybe 13 years old. My parents forked out and got me a piece. Now, if you know drums, you know that piece is just like the cream of the crop of absolute trash. So, but it was still sick because I had like an actual drum kit to play, which was really exciting. And then, I started hanging out with kids at school who play guitar and we started like kind of, jamming a little bit, doing a little high school band, playing like Red Hot Chili Pepper songs and shit like that.
Oh, fuck yeah. I was actually listening to bloody Californication and Scar Tissue like literally like an hour ago.
I was singing the Scar Tissue yesterday.
Were you really?
Just in that stupid fucking that I wish you sour. That's as over the top as possible.
Yeah, these songs are bangers, man.
Bro.
I sort of started doing that and then met like a bunch of other dudes who were doing like heavier stuff. So this is me just getting into System of a Down, Slipknot, like Mudvayne. Like, whoa, this is sick. Oh my God. And then I started there and then met these other dudes and they liked Deftones and that kind of vibe. So we sort of gelled and did a few things. Man. And then I met some other dudes, which put me in my first actual band that played shows and stuff. That was
okay. So who was that?
That was M Bird. And that was with Roshi, Dean, you might know. And then who else was in that at the time? Ryan Tulloch was in that. Old mate's cousin.
Right. No shit.
Who ended up being the singer in the Vampires, another Adelaide band.
Yeah, I remember the Vampires.
Vampires, fuck, dude.
Yeah, so he sang in that. I'll show you guys a song later that's got him like doing that in M Bird, and it's so sick.
Yeah.
And then Micah from Abandoned Hope played guitar in that band and screamed as well. Okay. So we had this sick like post-hardcore sort of thing going on, and it was super fun. And then Micah started doing Abandoned Hope and getting into that. And then his drummer left and then I kind of snuck my way in there.
Nice. And then how long were you doing Abandoned Hope for then?
Oh man, that went for, like probably 2008. That would have been 18. Yeah, 2008 to 2012 probably.
Yeah.
Had a really good little run.
So I work with Mr. Kelly.
You work with Sean.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's funny, like the fucking Adelaide, man, is just how crazy. So I've known Pato for about 9 or 10 years now. I've known him for about 6 or 7. Met them through completely different fucking walks of life. He was coming to my house for drinks and I was like, oh yeah, my mate Pato's coming around tonight. And he's like, it's not Sound Pato, is it? And I was like, oh, yeah.
Sound
and then he's like, dude, we fucking did the course together. I'm like, it's fucking Adelaide. And then, obviously start working at INET, met him, and I was like, dude, I was at your last show back in the fucking day. Like, Adelaide's just fucking ridiculous.
It's out of control. Everyone's connected in some way. It's really
you can't get away with anything, bro.
Yeah, you really can't. Yeah, I've tried.
Port Arthur, you heard of it? Like.
Yeah. What? No, I wasn't.
Port Adelaide, you heard of it?
Port Adelaide, you heard of it? Yeah.
Oh fuck, man. So then so we're out of Abandoned All Hope. So how long were we in that for?
Yeah, probably from what did it work out to? Like 2008 to about 2012, around that sort of time.
And some of those shows that you guys got on.
There was 2 really significant things that we got to do. One was supporting Parkway Drive, August Burns Red, and Architects on like one lineup at Thebi. That was incredible. That was like, walking out on the stage and just looking out, and there's like all these fucking just so many people, like 2,000 people, man. It's like,
how did you find that?
Doing it?
Yeah.
Like overwhelming for probably 10 minutes. And then like amazing, but it's like over.
Yeah.
And the thing that I really kick myself the most about that is that the only footage we have is like a mate with his phone on the side of the stage who took a little bit. If we just all chucked in like $50, $100, we could have got someone with a camera to really capture it. So it's a bit of a bummer.
What year was that?
That would have been 2010, maybe 2009, 2010.
Okay.
Around that
So
time.
like Deep Blue Parkway as well, like not even maybe even before Deep Blue.
Yeah, it was around. I think it was for the DVD tour.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
Like the first Parkway DVD. It was a tour
that
for
would make sense.
Yeah. And like a highlight of that for me though was like August Burns Red sitting behind Matt Green. I don't know how to pronounce
he's so
it.
good, dude.
Yeah, dude. I literally sat behind him like 2 meters behind him on stage, just my legs crossed, just like a little kid at school. Like,
Yeah.
okay. So, like, it was
He's
just,
like a machine gun, bro. It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah. He's a fucking like fiend. That was really cool. And then we did Thebby again with A Day to Remember and Under Oath. And by that point, I was like the most obnoxious, arrogant little cunt.
Oh no,
dude! I was like,
went straight
I'm
to your
fucking
head.
Thebby, man. I play this fucking venue, bro. Like I was such a cocky little cunt.
Yeah.
It's so embarrassing to look back at what a fuckwood I was, dude. Honestly.
Luckily, there's no video of it then, man. Because
There's plenty of stories though. I was the worst little fucking idiot, dude. When me being pretty much 18, 19 to about like 20, 21, like piece of shit, dude.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah, just arrogant.
At least you can admit it though.
Well, yeah, I would just walk around like I was in run. Like that show, we supporting these amazing bands,
Yeah.
busting their asses, traveling and doing these cool things, and then we finish as an opener, and I'm like, yeah, cool. No, I was gonna pack up my drums, just fucking leave, dude. Like,
Real.
what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty cringy, but
Yeah.
anyway, like that was really cool. And then we released Prowler in 2011, and that album was like sick for us and really cool for close friends.
Yeah.
It did not do anything anyway.
Yeah,
though.
okay.
Like, it was like, I don't know, like 6 years, maybe 7 years between albums.
Yep.
And everything had changed so much in the scene. Everyone's into deathcore now.
Yeah.
Not so much metalcore.
Yeah. So that kind of leads into a little bit to A Night in Texas then. So what was the gap between Band No Hope and A Night in Texas then? What was
it started off. I left a band No Hope kind of in Adelaide already and joined this other band called Harlow.
Okay.
And was just doing like hardcore music with those guys, and that was like super fun. Young
I just want to
kids
jump
and-
back quickly, actually, because if I'm correct, I was at I think it's one of your last shows was at the original Higher Ground Black Market in fucking the Night Train.
Yeah, upstairs there. Yeah.
One of my fucking most memorable nights. That
Do you mean like when it was actually Black Market, like in like you walk in, turn left, and there's a stage?
Yeah, I think there. Yep.
Yep.
And I remember that night because we were going so they used to do those zombie shots there, right? It was like 2 for 6 zombie shots.
Yeah.
And then Enigma was just open as a fucking bar and they had 2 for 8 Jaegers. So me and my mate kept going from fucking zombies to Jaegers just in between the bands. We'd duck out.
Yeah.
And I was there with my missus at the time and her ex was there and like she hadn't spoken to her ex in the couple of years we'd been together. Like for all I knew, he was the biggest piece of shit on earth. And and I'm a pretty chill dude, right? So I saw them talking and I was like, oh, maybe they're smoothing things over. Maybe that's going to be good for her.
Yeah,
let it go. And then after like the 3rd trip back from Enigma, they were still talking. I was like, nah, I'm done. So I've walked up to this dude and just grabbed him by his fucking hair and like dropped him on the ground. And then she's come over and grabbed me by my fucking stupid long surfy hair and started dragging me out of the situation.
Yeah.
And he's got up off the ground and I hear him yelling, "Cunt, you don't know who I know here." And the last thing I see is my mate just come across and fucking belt him. And then he gets he gets dragged out the front as I'm fucking standing there having an argument with my missus. And then I went inside and watched you guys. And it was just the fucking
And
the
that's
most
exactly
intense
why
night.
I got out of this stuff, because it fuels violence. You can see how it's
That's right.
it's just not. Yeah.
Oh, but back then as well, dude, like the whole like straight edge versus not like that was I
there was a
never
whole-
understood how much of a thing that was.
It really was.
Yeah,
eh?
it was pretty legit.
I could like literal like fucking seething hatred for these fucking straight edge people.
Yeah.
They're like just if you want a drink, you have a drink. If you don't want one,
Yeah.
don't have one.
Yeah,
Why do you
it's
need a
super
fucking
weird. Yeah, people get so passionate about their little audience segment sort of thing. It doesn't really make much sense.
No, it didn't.
It's pretty funny. Yeah.
I've never
It
seen.
goes through the whole like race stuff and everything as well, though. It's just like,
Yeah, it's just like classism almost, like in a
it's
certain
just
way.
fucking just have a good time, man.
Yeah,
Stop
exactly right.
fucking. Oh my god! And
You're
if you're
all
a
hitched.
cunt, you deserve to get lynched.
Yeah.
Like just fucking go die. Like,
That's
and
right.
Yeah.
Let us all have a good time. Yeah.
That's all anyone wants, man.
I think what you were saying about like yourself, I feel like there was probably a lot of that, especially in that era.
Yeah.
That early, like late 2000s. I just remember that you'd get a lot of that feeling from anyone that was in a band. Like most people were like, just remember people fucking spitting on the audience. I won't name names, but there's some just some fucking foul human beings that existed.
Yeah.
And then that becomes like a, you know, it manifests itself. That kind of behavior and attitude. People look up to those people on stage, feel that that's okay or appropriate to do that, and then start doing that when they form. You know what I mean? There was that really chunk of probably 4 or 5 years where I felt like there was a really bad toxicity in that scene.
Yeah, there really was, man. And I think it just purely came from like, you know, there's not many, you know, kids, no matter what kind of world you're in and what your hobbies are and what you're doing, there's not many places that you can walk in and have like, oh, these few hundred people are here for me. And it's like, this is for me and it's all about me and this is me. Like it's that's kind of where the arrogance stems from, because like, you know, in what other thing do you get that?
Yeah,
and it's kind of like you're a bit young to actually be having that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like most people in like, you know, big bands and shit are you know, old, really.
Yeah.
They're kind of like,
exactly right.
Kind of like mid to late 30s these days.
But
you
when
know,
you've
like-
got, and we had a time as well where there was like, you had a lot of opportunity to play shows.
Yeah.
When Black Market was at its peak and you had like, you know, Thy Art and fucking all of those bands like constantly on a weekly basis, and you've got support slots on that. And then there's other nights of the week that are doing stuff as well. Like there was a period of time where you could be getting a show every couple of weeks. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
And I think that coming out of that is when everyone grew the fuck up a bit, because we all aged, but then also everyone was like, holy shit, we took for granted a little bit how lucky we were to have this kind of opportunity. Because, I mean, way before Rona was a thing, we've gone without that for 4 or 5 years now of having like a constant ability to go and see heavy shows.
Yeah.
And I miss that so fucking much, dude. Like I took that for granted myself, thinking I was just going to be able to go watch like someone fucking break the fuck down every Friday night.
Yeah.
And now,
Like
you know, you've got to get a touring band. That's it.
Yeah, like a band like the Ghost Inside would come and I'd be like, I'll just see him next time, man. So,
Yeah, exactly right. I did that
I'll
with Dad
see him next
Remember,
time.
and I still haven't fucking seen him.
Exactly.
Have you still never seen a Dad Remember?
No.
Wow.
You gotta go. Like
Yeah,
if
you
there's
do.
something, if you're just slightly interested, just get the fuck out of your house and go. Like, cause you know, like you said, what we're facing now with these lockdowns and all this bullshit, like that opportunity doesn't really come around again.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I did it with Polaris. So I was in the middle of my Fringe run. So I did about 22 shows in a month. Polaris were here bang smack in the middle of that. Monday night was my only night off of shows. And like, I was like, babe, said to my partner, I was like, you just go. If I've got no shows on tonight, I probably should just fucking relax because I'm about to have another 6 days of shows every night.
Yeah,
Missed
it
the
was
best show
flat out.
I've seen in the last 3 years.
Right. Not only was it an amazing show, but that's the last show that has been in Adelaide of that scale since we went into lockdown.
Yeah.
So I was but we just done Unify, and I was like so flat out. Again, you just take these things for granted. You think they're going to be back in 4 months, and they haven't been back here since. You know, it's fucking crazy, man.
So harping back to a night in Texas.
Yeah,
So
okay,
So go from the very start with that, because I've always been like, interested. I've never actually known like what was with that, because you were Adelaide and they're from Brisbane.
Yeah, so I moved to Queensland. So when I met my now wife, like who was my girlfriend at the time, she got like a scholarship to go and study at a uni.
Yeah.
Right. She's very great with books. Her life skills we won't get into, but
Shout out.
shout out to the misso. No, she's great. So I followed her along, and then obviously I don't know anyone here. What the fuck am I doing here? This is insane. So I was working at some little computer shop, and then I jumped on Facebook and I'm looking at the local groups and trying to, you know, get into a scene, like whatever's going on. And I met this dude called Josh, who was in a band called the Stratagem.
Okay.
And I was in this band called the Stratagem for probably about a year or two. They had like a bunch of songs, and I went and, you know, we rewrote them. I programmed out all the drums. We did a proper EP, and it was sick. Like it went really well. We had a bunch of good shows. like we were supporting a night in Texas.
Okay.
So that's sort of where, you know, and there was a venue called the Lab.
Was it that kind of, what was the sound for Stratagem like? Was
Same,
it of that?
deathcore.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Which is
Deathcore.
Stratagem I wouldn't have picked as a deathcore.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you compare like
Sounds
Stratagem.
like proggy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
does.
exactly
Yeah,
what I was
yeah,
going to
yeah,
say.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
compared to a night in Texas.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
Stratagem, I'm
yeah.
thinking that's some progs. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
I know. I definitely did not get to choose the name. So, but yeah, like it was a great band, and there's the, you know, well, Josh was great, and that's all I have to say. Everyone else sucked.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Josh was great. He was really cool dude. But anyway, so yeah, we were supporting that in Texas. There was a venue called the Lab that just opened up in Brisbane in like Wollongabba, and Corey was the sound dude, right? He was doing all the sound engineering for it. And then like I saw their drummer, and I was like, oh, I'd love to do that. Like I really feel like I could bring something to this. And then when you're a bit younger and you like kind of like a chick and you like say some shit, and then your friend says, and then they're like, oh, I think she likes you, man.
Yeah.
That's what it was like, man.
But with
drums.
Yeah.
Nice.
But with drums, I was like, I really want to do that. And then they were like, yeah, Corey says you're a really good drummer. And I'm like, oh. You know, like, it was the stupidest fucking thing. But ended up connecting, and then he came like to my house, and we did like some jam on an electric kit, and and then it just slowly kind of progressed into
Went
it.
from there.
Yeah, as their old drummer left.
So that was like 2013, 14, I'm guessing?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, around maybe 22, 20. Yeah, no, that would have been about 23, 24 I would have been. Yeah, so 2013, 2014.
Yeah, okay.
Around there. Yeah, you got
Yep.
it. Yeah, so we started hanging out and got in there and played some shows and had some really good times. Like we did like the first proper tour, and I like broke my ankle. Like,
oh, really? How'd
like
that
two
happen?
shows in. So we went to Canberra, and there was like this little snowfield I just want to stress, it's for children. Okay? It's literally for kids to be like, a snow play, I made a snowman. So
But a seasoned drummer can't go there and keep their ankles intact.
Can't fucking handle it. So there's toboggans. And they're like, you can go down a little hill. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to surf this shit. So I stand on it and just floop and crack the shit.
no.
And then, I was in Canberra Hospital for like 3 days, and then fucking flew home, and I'm laying on the couch for like a month, you know. Yeah.
Fuck.
It was pretty bad. It's like bolted. It's
So
full of
someone
bolts and
took over
shit.
for you that tour, I'm guessing?
No, we just pulled out.
Oh, you just pulled out?
Yeah,
True.
it was over. We had to bail on that.
Bro.
Yeah, it was a real bummer.
Do
And
you
then
remember who was on that tour?
it was called the Up and Smoke Tour. I think it was like, I don't even know. It might have been like Semperfi and like no like massive names or anything.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
But
a
still,
big
it was a
one, but
national tour. Like.
It was still sick. It was
Yeah.
really exciting.
Yeah.
You know, I hadn't done one for so long, since probably 2010 or around that time.
Yeah, with a band. And,
Yeah. So it had been a while. But yeah, man. And then and then life kind of just changes. Like it was sort of like, got pregnant, had a kid. Oh, I got a kid. I better get married.
Yeah.
Got married. Oh, we're married. Better get a house. Got a house. And like career things were changing as well. And all of that kind of escalated. And then I was like, hey, I can't do this band anymore.
Yeah.
They found someone else. And then we moved from Queensland back here, like to get family support pretty much.